Hello, everybody. I'm here at the Vamily Show, the Very Awesome Family Show, Season 2, Episode 37. And today with me, I have country music star Savannah. And I kind of wanted to ask you, I went and listened to your music, but I also found your YouTube channel. So I kind of wanted to ask you about your videos on there.
Absolutely.
Um, the first one of which is you posted a music video you made back when you were 14 on there.
Yes.
And so I kind of want to know what would you go back and tell your 14-year-old self to watch out for as you get to where you're at now and things just to like maybe sit back and take in the moment more.
Right. When I was 14, I was really blessed to start to do music professionally at a very young age. A note to my 14-year-old self would be, to just take everything in and whatever opportunity comes your way to take it. At 14 years old, I had no clue what I was doing with music. I was just doing what people told me to do. And um, I've always been very humble and very grounded. And I was like that when I was 14 years old. And, um, you know, when I was 14, I loved life. I loved music. And that's still what I'm doing now. And so, it'd just be to, just keep on moving and keep going for your dreams. And that would be probably my note to my 14-year-old self.
I'm surprised you posted that up there only because I don't know. I'm kind of glad there's not like video stuff of me at 14 around. It'd be kind of embarrassing for me to put out there. So
Yeah.
I applaud you for putting that up there,
Thank you.
for sure. And then I saw on there that you did a thing you called the Savannah and You Show, and it
Yeah.
looked like you were taking requests for songs that people wanted to hear you sing.
Yes.
Was there one that you really enjoyed doing that you weren't sure about before you sang it?
Absolutely. One that I was a little nervous about was Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton.
Hmm.
That's a song that I always wanted to know how to do. And so when I kept getting requests for it, I'm like, I don't know about that one. And after I did it, it became one of my favorites. So,
Right, right. And I also saw on there, and um, I'm gonna guess it was your wedding, but you were singing a song there. And
yes,
is that a song you wrote based on your relationship?
yes. Yeah, that was a song to my husband. That was my big present to him on our wedding day. And that was really the first time I really performed an original song in front of anybody. So the fact that I did
Wow.
my husband plus my huge family that I have. That took a lot of guts. I was a little nervous, and I really don't get nervous performing in front of anybody, so I was a little nervous in that moment, but it was so humbling, and it was just perfect.
Right, right. No, I was gonna ask you like, if you were nervous then because I saw you sing other times. I would think just it being your wedding would make you nervous enough, but now to hear that was the first time that you did an original song
Right.
on top of it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that took a lot of guts. I can tell
It,
to be able to
yeah.
be able to do that. And I wanted to know, it is singing karaoke how you kind of got in karaoke how you got your feet wet into doing singing and performing. Is that kind of what you use in the beginning to
I'm gonna move to a
be
different
able
location
to
here. I've got you cutting out on me.
be able to get more comfortable in front of an audience?
I'm gonna move to a different location here.
You still there?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might have been on my end. I think it might have been on my um I'm always so have you had a fan, like, I don't know if you if your sister has been a favorite, because I think I saw one of your videos you to play a song.
Yes, yeah, that was a song to my sister on her high school graduation day, and my mom told me that it was one of her favorite songs, and so I got together with my brother and we practiced it, and then I sang it to her at her graduation party. Yeah,
That's a really good thing to be able to do as a big sister, then, and
yeah.
kind of share that. Have there been any moments so far that you're excited to have already done, and are you kind of excited to be able to maybe go on tour next year?
Yeah, with COVID and everything right now, I know it's really tough for a lot of musicians right now, and I'm hoping that when COVID kind of passes through, that I can really start performing a lot more. That's one of my goals. And so I'm really going to try really hard to get back in the groove of that and see where my music can take me. So time will tell.
Right, right. I know it's um, kind of a kind of a bummer all this going on, but that has given you a chance to sit down and write some more music out of it as well.
Yes, that's something that I'm also always trying to improve on, and something that I always want to get better at. I wish I would have started when I was a little bit younger. Um, but it's really given me opportunity to kind of reflect on how far that I've come and where I want to go with my music, and it's really given me a lot of time to think the avenue that I want to take myself and how I want people to see me as an artist. And so that's also something that I've really been trying to focus on with my music as well. Yes.
Right, right. Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I've talked to a lot of people. I think there's going to be a lot of art stuff that comes out of this because people are forced to, and maybe even people that are creative but haven't had a chance because they're working a regular job. Maybe who knows what
Absolutely.
kind of stories and stuff are going to come out of all this.
Yes. And I'm also working a full-time job, so it's very tough to juggle everything. Plus, I'm still in school. So
Wow.
juggling a lot at the moment. And so time management is very crucial with having a strong workload. And so that's also the thing that I've kind of been battling at the moment is just fitting everything into a week schedule. And sometimes you just feel like there's not enough days in the week to fit
Yeah,
everything in.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It all it gets past you really easy, and I've gotten to where if I don't put things in the calendar, it gets past me, and I have to do it like in the moment and all that kind
Yes.
of stuff.
Yes.
Yep, yep. Has there been one place that you would like to play one day? Maybe that you saw somebody else playing when you were younger, and you think that would be a cool place to have a concert at.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple places in mind. Obviously, here in Nashville, I really want to play at the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman. Um, I think that's a lot of musicians' dreams to play there. But you know what? Getting to perform in front of anybody makes me super happy. Obviously, those would be my two favorite picks. But I just love to perform in general. And, when it comes to performing, I just love what I do. I love to sing, I love to make people happy. So that's always the most important thing to me.
Right, right. And how has kind of your life's journey up to this point led to the single that you have out right now?
Yeah. So when I released the single, it really touched home in a lot of ways. When you hear Wear Us, it's a pretty black and white statement, and it really can mean what you want it to mean. And it has a multitude of meanings. It could be about your family, it could be about your pets, it could be about somewhere you want to go. And it could just be about who you are. And I love that. And one of the goals that I've always had with music is to be able to touch everybody on the outside. And I want
Right.
people to understand what I am saying and for it to touch everybody in their own unique way. And so when I heard Wear Us, it's just about everything in life, you know, the good times, the bad, the rough, the thick, the thin. And that's what I really liked. And because that's how everybody goes through life, you know, life's not perfect. But just be you, go about your life the way you want to go about your life. And that's what I loved about Wear Us.
Right. Right. And that's kind of the best sentiment you can take into it. Is
Absolutely.
you gotta be yourself,
You do.
but it takes so long sometimes for some people to find out even who their self is. Like
Absolutely.
takes a lot of years, and you got to figure that out.
Yep.
Um, and I think that's one of the things you probably learn from past relationships. Is kind of almost you learn about yourself too at the same time. Where if you don't, you're probably doomed to repeat the same mistakes.
Yes. Yeah. You know, nobody's perfect. And, you know, the main thing to come out of Wear Us is, you know, at the end of the day, we are who we are, you
Mhm.
know, and that's the most important thing about that song. Is just be who you are, love who you are. And, you know, that's as simple as that.
Yep, yep, for sure. And I listening to your voice, and I'm not sure if you did it in any of those karaoke things, but if you do put up another video on there of a cover one, I'd love to hear you do like a Jewel song.
Oh,
Um,
yes. I've been told that before.
right. I
Yeah.
think I think your range fits her really well, and
Well,
I think
thank you.
I think it might be a hit, a good video for you as far as these go on YouTube.
I'll keep that
And,
in mind. Yeah.
yeah, and Linda Oki is in here, and she wants to know: is your song are they about telling a story?
Absolutely. Yes, they are. All my songs are about telling a story. No matter if it's about a love song, just kind of a rough edge kind of song. All of my songs are meant to mean something. Yes.
Right, right. And there's probably kind of looking back, there's probably been a lot of those life experiences that 14-year-old had no idea about that made that music video back in the day.
No.
And if you got another chance, would you avoid them all, or do you think it's made you a better person to go through the hard times you went through and everything to get to where you're at now?
To be honest, I am glad that I started doing music at a young age because I started to learn early on. At a very young age, I got to go into professional studios. At a very young age, I got to meet very prominent people in the music industry. And so I wouldn't change any of that because growing up and still continuing in the music industry, I've learned from the past and it's just made me a better artist. It's made me be more, you know, vocal during those sessions and knowing the kind of artist that I really want to be and who I want to associate myself with in the music industry. So I am very grateful that I did start at a very young age and what I did get to learn at that age.
Right, right. And you've probably been lucky to have good people to guide you in your journey up to this point too, as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm sure maybe you probably even had friends that maybe they didn't choose the right people and it didn't
Yeah.
end up well for them.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
I was really grateful for always having the support, especially of my immediate family, you know, my mom, dad, brother and sister, husband. Um I've always been just beyond grateful for that. And you know, when I'd even go to perform some shows in Nashville when I was about 16, I performed at a place called 12th and Porter, and I had friends and family come and watch me at that performance, and
oh, that's
that
really
just
cool.
that just makes you feel so good about yourself, and it really truly shows who your true support system is, and I take that very seriously to the heart.
Right, right. That's really cool. That's really cool to have happen and have everybody show up like that. It's
Yes.
like that's completely different than it being a school function. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, but I bet that was kind of an incredible experience too, to be up there on stage and
It was. It was. That was probably one of my most memorable moments. not just here in Nashville, but at a younger age, um, specifically because I had my whole family there. I had a lot of my mom's friends there. My grandma, who passed away of pancreatic cancer a little while back, she was able to make it to that performance. And it was my dad's birthday that day. And just a lot of things came together that day. And that was truly, really the foundation of, I knew that I knew I was in the industry that I was supposed to be in. And
Right.
it was just a really humbling moment. And that moment was just, I know where I am, where I need to be. And I know that this is what I need to do.
Man, that's lucky to know that early though too.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Yes.
spend a lot of years and all that stuff and
Yes.
just trying to do it. And what are you going? Are you in college or what are you pursuing in there? Does it apply with music?
So I got my associate's degree in 2018, and I got that in occupational therapy assistant. And I'm currently finishing my bachelor's degree, and I'll be done with that in December. Yay, I'm really excited to be done with that. Um, and so now here I am in Nashville trying to do music. I have a full-time job in the healthcare field and still finishing college. And I'm just doing a lot with myself right now. So
So how has dealing with healthcare and dealing juggling that with what you do for music? I guess depending on where you work, the shifts could end up being the same because if it's like a hospital or whatever, and you're there on an overnight type thing,
right.
you're
So
working.
my job right now is I travel and I go into people's homes and I actually test for diabetic retinopathy. So I take pictures of people's eyes and I travel from home to home. And of course, with this COVID 19, I have to be really careful with everything that I do with my job. And
Right.
so I work a typical Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job and doing music and also finishing school. So I am a busy girl right now.
So would your ultimate dream though just to be able to do the music for a living and not have to do that, and that's your fallback in case something ever happens with music?
I am very glad that I went to college and got a degree because the music industry is very competitive and it's very hard. And so I am glad that I went and got a good degree and I'm still continuing with school. But yes, music is my main priority, and music is obviously what I want to do with my life and my career. So I'm always going to keep shooting for those stars and keep striving towards music. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and you have a very beautiful voice,
Thank you.
and I think you're probably going to be one of the breakout stars here at some point. So
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to be out here and talking to you now, and then hopefully one day when you're a superstar, I can talk to you again sometime.
Oh,
But
thank you so much.
um, and your website is here on the screen. Is it Niter?
Yes, correct.
Music.com, and that's also I believe it's the same as it's Facebook as well. Is Savannah Niter Music on Twitter, Savannah Niter, and I
Yeah.
also put her YouTube channel in the description. So if you guys want to go over there and subscribe, because you're at 45 now. So if we get hopefully we get you to 100, then you can make that your URL on there too.
Thank
It'll
you.
be easier to
Yes.
share. I understand how that was for sure. So, and you've been really enjoyable to have on, and I want to thank you and definitely go check out our music and get you some more plays on all the platforms because you've been putting in work since you were 14 at it. So I really want to see you get some success out of the music
No
part.
stopping now. There's no just keep
Yeah,
on going. Yes.
yeah, for sure. And that's what I always tell people at the end of this: stop waiting for life to happen and make life happen. And that's kind of what you've done. So
I love that. And that's very right.
Yep, been glad to have you here. Stick with me for a minute, and everybody, I will see you next time. And you know, go out there just like Savannah did, and make your dreams happen.